Hello everybody, this is Kyrix with another edition of This Week in Kyrix. This is for the week of, let me check the numbers here, Wednesday, June 27th of 2018. I almost said June 26th because this is the 26th episode. But it is being recorded on the 28th because I'm a procrastinating shithead who lost an entire day. Yeah. Oh boy, I've got a lot to talk about. There will be spoilers. This is the thing. There will be spoilers for Jurassic Park, or Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, rather. So be aware of that going in. But I will announce later when they happen. I'm not going to open with Jurassic World. I'm probably going to close with it because I've got a lot to say. Now, you're going to have to bear with me just a moment here, people. I am in the process of sending some Pokemon to myself via Pokemon Bank to Totem Pokemon. Raticate and Salazzle. I almost said Raticake, because that's what I named it. I finally got off my ass to play a little Pokemon Ultra Moon so I could get some of the totems that I'm missing. Okay, that's done. That'll hold till later. I got the important shit done. Anywho, alright, let's start with the elephant in the room here. How did Kyrix do at Star Trek? I didn't. It was kind of a clusterfuck. Okay, let's break this down for you. The day started out reasonably well enough. I got some sleep. I think I did something gaming-wise, or maybe I was watching videos. Anyway, my aunt showed up literally like at the last minute, bringing me food, because it had come up like a couple days before, partly because of my bike being down. My bike was down, and some of you, most of you perhaps, know that the bike is how I supplement my food. I am able to survive because of the bike. Like today, even. The roommate wanted me to go to Winn-Dixie to pick up for him some popcorn chicken, some cheese, and some whiskey. And out of this, I got a bag of crispy chicken strips and a Coca-Cola. So that was my thing. And that's how I survive. That's literally how I survive. I run errands for him, and in exchange, I get food. It's a simple system, and one I'm quite happy with. Because it sustains my life, quite frankly. But it gets me exercise. It gets me stuff that I normally couldn't or wouldn't spend money on myself. Usually at the end of the month when I'm out of money. But he'll send me for stuff at the start of the month, like, I don't know if you'd want to do it. And I'm like, dude, every single errand I run that gets me free food is shit that I don't have to spend myself. And he's like, oh, good point. So, I mean, I don't care if I've got a fucking cupboard full of food. I will still, if physically able, make an errand run. Because whatever food, whatever soda, whatever exchange I make makes my own supplies last that much longer. And I'm a pragmatic sort. So, my aunt got me a good amount of food. 2 packs of hot dogs, so that's 16 hot dogs. Yay, I do like hot dogs. Shit. So, 2 packs of hot dogs, 2 buns, a loaf of bread that I still haven't done shit with. Probably should find something to do with that bread. Should get those corners done before I do anything else in here. Some Tyson's chicken strips, not crispy. I did specifically mention crispy, but, and this is a reasonable mistake to make on her part, she just figured chicken strips. She figured the Tyson's was the important part, and not the crispy, when the crispy is the important part because something in the batter recipe fucks with my stomach. And I don't know what it is, but pretty much every single chicken strip I buy from the freezer, whether I deep fry it or oven bake it, fucks me up, and I don't know what it is, and it's fucking stupid. And I even made the mistake thinking, oh, Tyson's is Tyson's, you know? I eat Tyson's chicken strips, and I'll be fine. Nope, that makes me sick too, or at least it did last time I did it. We'll find out if it does this time. But she got me that. Got me stuff for goulash. I normally make my goulash with 4 pounds of hamburger. I stupidly did not tell her how much hamburger, so she got me 2, because that's what normal people make theirs with. And I don't cook like normal people. And again, that one's on me. That one's entirely on me. because I didn't tell her 4 pounds, or at least I don't think I did. But as it turns out, I can make it just fine on 2 pounds, which I'm actually pleased to hear, because that will save me so much money at the start of the month, and it means that I can put goulash more or less back on the menu. Because it hasn't been in a very long time, because 4 pounds of hamburger is fucking expensive. You know what I mean? Also, I asked for stuff for mac and tuna, which she provided, and I don't remember if I did or not specifically mention Campbell's. I don't think I did. And she actually told me that she uses Campbell's, but she brought me a generic that her husband said is really good. And I figured, well, it's free food, fuck it. What can you do? I mean, I'm not the sort to bitch about free food. If it turns out to be complete shit, at least I'm not the one who spent money on it. And it's not like it wouldn't get eaten anyway. I've eaten some truly vile mac and tuna before. And I doubted this would be anywhere near that bad. And I was right. It was good shit. Nope. Not done. There we go. Okay, do I have any more of these? Because that's going to be important in a minute. I do. Cool. So, anyway, I ate the mac and tuna. It turned out pretty good. As I told my aunt, although I don't think I got through because my phone reception's still fucking garbage, I told her I don't think I'd ever buy it for myself, that brand, but if she showed up with it again, I wouldn't be upset, it's still good stuff. So, that's where I stand on that. Let me in! Perfect. Alright, anyway, so glad that these things water no longer seems to destroy treasure chests. Because they used to. And that would have been upsetting, to say the least. Fuck. Speaking of upsetting, that upsets me greatly. Alrighty, cool. So yeah, I got my aunt to basically do a food run for me, which was awesome. Thank you. And I did give her feedback on both of those that I was concerned about. Oh, also some Hot Pockets, but those didn't last too long, because she got me a couple 2-packs, basically. And the way I eat those things were not long for this world, and they were not. But they served a very valuable purpose, and they sustained my life. So then she decided to drive me to the bus stop, even though I left myself what I thought was plenty of time, and what turned out to be an excessive amount of time to actually get to the bus stop. Which is good, because you want to show up early rather than late. It's a thing. It's better to be early than late. God damn it, Kyrix. Can you try not fucking up for a change? That'd be great. So anyway, I got on the bus. I got up to the gaming store. And, of course, the party was in full swing, as it is. I, motherfucker, spent pretty much the whole party listening to the Jurassic Park audiobook, because no one was really there doing any games that I could jump in on, which is usually what happens, is there's some sort of game going on that I can jump in on. Not this time, though, and that's okay. I actually came prepared for that, in that I brought Pokemon with me, and I brought the Starship Troopers novel with me, and I brought the Jurassic Park audiobook with me. I came prepared to entertain myself, and I fucking did. I'll take care of that from outside. So yeah, now if you'll notice, looking at this thing, just how fucking cool this looks. Because it really does. It's really fucking cool. But yeah, as you can see, it's essentially a void, you know? You can't tell it was that anything's there, really. And that's pretty fucking cool. It's kind of what you want in a structure like this. You know what I mean? There we go. And, anyway, I get to Trek. Or I get to the gaming store, rather, because Trek hasn't started. And you know how my phone can be kind of a piece of shit? Apparently, it ate a very important text that I'll get to in a minute. The plan was that my friend was going to show up, and she would be my ride home, and I would pay her way into the tournament. And as the time was ticking down and no one was showing up, keep in mind, this happens on a Saturday when the buses go on a different schedule. They operate off the holiday schedule, which sucks dong. Why does it suck dong, Kyrix? Well, because you see on the holiday schedule, buses run every hour if they run at all. And they stop significantly earlier. So, basically, my last bus home would run at 8 o'clock. And I didn't bring my bike, I took the bus up there. So, if, for example, something were to occur that made me, you know, miss the bus and a ride didn't show up, I would be walking home for 2.5 hours. And I couldn't get a hold of her, or anyone else for that matter, because I don't have anyone else's contact info, nor could I really, out of the blue, expect anyone to drive me home. And I tried calling her, basically as early as 4. And she had told me that she didn't think she'd be there early, but I never got any news about her not being there on time. And apparently she told me that she had sent me a text saying that she would be there potentially late, but I never got it, and I even showed her my phone saying that flat out said nothing of that sort, you know? So I borrow some change, and I get on the last bus out of there, and then I happen to check my phone, because I told her, hey, I had to take the last bus home, and I get a somewhat angry text message from her. Not that I get the alert for it, I just look at my phone and there it is. You know? And she says, well, I just got here, etc. And I'm like, okay, if I come back, or if I get off the bus now, can you come pick me up? And I didn't get any response. And basically, I got off the bus and walked for about a half an hour to get back to the gaming place. And no one else but us showed up, so there ended up being no tournament. And she was, understandably and rightfully so, a bit miffed at me for jumping the gun. But like I told her, I had no contact with you. I have a fuckload of friends who are incredibly unreliable, who they say, oh, I'll be there, and they aren't, and I get no warning to that effect that they won't actually be there. And that if I didn't have a confirmed ride home and had to, you know, go about my own devices, I could very well be stuck walking home for over 2 hours. You know, which is not optimal. So, yeah, she was kind of out of energy and just generally pissed. And again, understandably so, not holding it against her. But there was no Trek. There was, however, silver lining. I got basically a tip on some jobs. The job that I wanted is not in the list, but there are other jobs that I can qualify for, and will attempt to once I get my phone up and running and a couple other things out of the way. And also, I spent the entire day grazing on mac and cheese. So I was nice and full. Because it was their anniversary party, their 4th anniversary party. And that's what I do. I go up there and I graze. And I had the foresight to take my tournament fee and put it into store credits so that next month I just have it. I just show up and I have it. So if she is not my ride there and back next time, by the way, she would have been my ride there, but I wanted to go early so I could eat some food. You know, I wanted to sneak some food, and the only way to really do that is to show up really early. So I opted to go early on my own. But if she's not my ride there and back next month, then I don't have to put any money aside. And if she is my ride there and back, then I just have to set aside $5, you know? Okay, this could be tricklesome. It could also be incredibly worthwhile. Let's just post that as my exit. I'm sure it'll make plenty of sense to me later. Which is a big fat fucking lie. But I'm dumb enough to fall for it. But anyway, so yeah, that's how Trek went. It fucking didn't. It didn't went at all. And I was quite sad. But sometimes shit like that's just unavoidable. I did find out that apparently we do subgaming on Thursdays now, which is fine. I didn't go today for a couple reasons. Number one, I didn't necessarily have any confirmation that we were doing anything today. And number two, it was raining. And number three, right now my bike, I'm on my secondary bike, you know. And it's kind of a butt, and I don't want to rely on it. So I will not. It's really just that simple. But starting next month, when I get the bike up and running again, the other bike, the reliable bike, I will start making the Thursday sessions, etc. I have plans to get up there. The other thing that upsets me is the guy told me, like, oh, we're not trying to do this as test beds for shit. We're trying to teach people. I'm like, and I'm just thinking, dude, the only reason I have to come up there is to practice. And if I'm not practicing my tournament, what the fuck am I practicing? Especially since every time I mention wanting to get people on Tabletop Simulator, he shoots that down hard, like, no, we shouldn't. It's not the same on Tabletop Simulator. And I'm thinking, bitch, it ain't. It absolutely is the same on Tabletop Simulator if you know what the fuck you're doing. I can get the exact same kind of thing. I think what it is he's trying to get people to show up to play. But if you're not willing to let me practice for tournaments, and you're going to limit what fucking teams and shit I can use, then what's my option besides Tabletop Simulator? Really, what's my option? Answer, I don't fucking have one. Because the whole point of this is so that I, who have no one to game with, and have been trying for literally a year to get anyone to agree to come up on any day to play with me, and now suddenly I'm the one getting the terms fed to me. Just no, I'm sorry. Just, you gotta deal with the fact that I need to practice specific shit. I mean, people who ride cars or drive cars don't realize what a physical investment it is when you bike everywhere. I mean, I have no fucking money, so all of my shit, almost without question, is just ancient. It's every now and then I scrounge up the money to buy a ship, or I win something to supplement my fleet with, and then the judge is upset, like, you need to try new shit. And I'm thinking, no, the shit I have works. And I never play exactly the same thing. I tend to mix it up. I tend to try new things. It's just that most people aren't on the same competitive level that I am. And I don't mean that skill level, I mean competitive level. You know? I'm not trying to pass myself off as a super awesome Mega player, because I'm fucking not. But I am very competitive. Let's see if this can lead me anywhere special. But anyway, so let's move on to Pokemon. How did Pokemon go for Kyrix? Pokemon went great for Kyrix. I absolutely dominated every match. I came close to losing one match for a little bit, and then I just stopped fucking around and got serious again, and things picked up immediately in my direction. So, okay, so there's that. There's some lava down there. Kyrix likes him some lava. Question is how to get there without dying. That's a fantastic question, isn't it? But next Pokemon tournament's going to be interesting because it is going to be all Megas. And I actually made it a little more interesting in that not only do all the Pokemon have to be Pokemon that can Mega Evolve, because the idea being, oh, which one's the Mega? I took it a step further, and the person who made the tournament liked the idea, that in addition to them all having to be Megas, all of them had to be holding their Mega Stone, so that literally any one of them could be the Mega at a moment's notice. So it's not like, oh, Charizard's my Mega. Oh no, Charizard fainted. What shall I do? It's Charizard was going to be my Mega, but Charizard fainted, so now Lucario's my Mega. You know? So that's a thing. My friend, I don't know what the fuck it is, but if you know me personally, watch your thumbs. I'm not even fucking making this up. I have had 2 friends in the past month almost cut their goddamn thumbs off. What the shit, guys? Those are important. Keep good care of them. Those are necessary. You need those. Bloop, 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 bloop. Let's just take this away. Bloop, 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 bloop. Bloop, 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 bloop. But yeah, thumbs are a thing you fucking need. They're important. Keep track of them. They fucking matter. But yeah, the HeroClix judge, for example, his contribution to this whole thumb fiasco, for lack of a better goddamn word. Is there a better goddamn word? Who can say? He was trying to cut some frozen goat cheese because reason. Now, my first question was naturally, why the fuck did you freeze your cheese? Well, I wanted to store it. I bought a lot of cheese in bulk, which he's got money to burn. There's no reason for him to be buying shit in bulk to save money, other than he's just fucking stingy with cash. But anyway, he's like, I wanted to store it, so I froze it. And he just pulls it out of the freezer and cuts it, and is shocked when he damn near severs his thumb. Dude, no, frozen things are hard, okay? If this is news to you, I'm fucking sorry, but frozen things are really hard. Especially when you're cutting them. Have you ever had an ice cream cake? Because years ago, when they were new-ish, at least newish to us, we got an ice cream cake from a stepdad. And spent 20 minutes trying to cut the fucking thing. And the answer was no. You couldn't. It wasn't happening. At all. But, shit. So, yeah, I know firsthand what it's like to cut frozen shit. You don't... You... No, you take... No. My other friend was working at his new job and got his thumb caught in one of the grindy things. So that happened. And we used this as an opportunity to get caught up on a lot of cartoons. Like, we finally finished the first season of Transformers Prime, which I was very ashamed of him as a person because he is a big Transformers fan and had never seen any episodes of Prime. And I had to remedy that, because that is heresy. Really. That's the best way to describe it, is fucking heresy. And we watched... He'd never seen Korra. So I naturally asked him, well, have you at least seen Avatar? Like, well, duh. I'm like, don't say duh. You haven't seen Korra. It's not a given that you've seen Airbender either. You know? I even, to justify it, I even said, dude, you hadn't seen Transformers Prime. He's like, okay, fair point. But, ooh, this is potentially quite yummy, actually. Let's put a jack-o'-lantern up. There we go. And, specifically for Korra, because I was telling him that Korra, it's kind of a slow starter. It really is. I mean, even people who love Korra kind of have to admit that, oh dear God, did that thing drag its butt like a dog with worms in those first season and a half. But by the time it hits the middle of Season 2, it really hits its stride, and it never really loses it after that point. And I was telling him about the whole thing about the origins of the Avatar, and then it occurs to me, there really isn't any spoilers in those episodes for shit that'll happen later. So fuck it, let's just watch those 2 episodes instead of having me explain the whole thing. And that's what we did. So that was cool. But yeah, we got caught up on some cartoons since, you know, he destroyed his thumb. Nothing down there worth my time? No. Nothing down there is worth my time. Oh, but let's get some of this iron now that I'm up here. Okay, so let's talk elephant in the room. I saw Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I saw it the day after it hit American shores. I could have seen it the day of, but I didn't want to spend twice the money. So I didn't. I instead saw it Friday. I was going to see it Tuesday. I thought about seeing it Tuesday. And just, you know, going early Tuesday morning kind of thing like I did with Incredibles. Riding my bike down there, saving $4. However, my bike, as you may know, is prone to horrible goddamn accidents. Well, that's actually dramatic. It is prone to tires rupturing all the time, like constantly. If I didn't have my friend on speed dial because he's my friend, I'd have him on speed dial because he fixes my goddamn bike. I swear half our conversations revolve around, hey, when's your next day off? Because I'd like to use my bike again. You know? And I wish that was a joke, that wasn't true, but it's totally fucking true. Matter of fact, that's the whole reason that ages ago we started doing the whole barbecue thing, which we haven't done in a while, but we might start up again soon. But the whole reason we did that is to give us an excuse to hang out that didn't revolve around fixing my goddamn bike. But now he has a car, and we hang out for other reasons. Like, he'll come down at least once a month and hang out, and we'll watch YouTube videos and play video games and just bullshit. Occasionally drive to GameStop to get me more Pokemon cards. And every now and then I make him take me to visit Mom, because not only does she like me visiting, she likes him visiting because, well, he's basically her son too, so why not, right? And, I'm dodging the question. What did I think of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom? I didn't hate the movie. I don't think it's my favorite movie. I'm not quite sure I'd say it's definitely not my top two. I think that Jurassic Park and Jurassic World between them take the top 2 slots. It was good though. Here's the thing. I don't think it's really possible to make a Jurassic Park that I'm going to hate. I really don't. I cannot explain how much I love this franchise and what it means to me as a fucking person. I mean, you cannot even fathom what a dinosaur nut I am and have always been. And continue to this day to be. I mean, it may not seem like it, but I love me some fucking dinosaurs. I really do. They're just the greatest thing to me. Oh, there's some gold. Now I'm starting to get to the good shit. I need more lapis, though. That's the real kicker. Give Kyrix lapis. Gold is nice, lapis is better. Home is where the heart is, but the minds are made of lapis. Thanks for that. Alright, that was a waste, but at least it's safe now. A lot of people have issues with Jurassic World, and understandable issues. I will admit they are quite understandable. Mostly stemming from the fact that it pulls so heavily from Jurassic Park and The Lost World, and I mean the novels more than anything. I mean, there's stuff in the movies as well, but it's mostly the novels, it really is. But, and I saw someone on YouTube saying it rips off Jurassic Park. I'm like, dude, it's an homage. You know, it's not a rip-off, it's a fucking homage. And all the movies, without fucking exception, pull from Jurassic Park. Especially in terms of the novel. So, don't even start that shit with me. Look. Well, this looks promising. There could be good shit in here. There probably isn't, and I'm probably going to get horrifically burned. But if there's lapis here, I'll run the risk. I will roll those goddamn dice. We're gonna put this here. Oh my god. Psst. Shit. Well, fuck. Guess we'll just respawn. And yeah, I lost all my shit, and I can't really bring myself to care that much. Boom, boom. Just show me that somewhere in here I've got, if not iron ore, I'll settle for gold. Oh shit, I forgot I had diamond! But yeah, I've got coal, I've got wood. So yeah, let's start rebuilding that empire, as it were. Crafting table. So yeah, it would seem that I am back to figurative square one. That's okay. See, here's the thing about gold. It's not a useless metal, it's just a pain in the ass. Because the durability on it's kind of balls. But the strength is really high. I think the strength, at least last I checked, it's probably changed since then. But the strength is near diamond, but the durabilities kind of suck. In the middle of the night. But yeah, see how much quicker this goes? Some pretty quick shit, not gonna lie. But yeah, a lot of people are gonna complain and have complained that it's very rip-offy. Like there's a lot of shit that's from Jurassic Park. I've heard them say, "Oh, the villains are cartoony and evil." I'm like, are you familiar with this series, dude? Because they've always been that way. They really have. I mean, I hate to burst your bubble, but the villains have always been fucking mustache twirlers. Or just fucking cartoon characters. Nedry was Bulk and Skull. He was both of them. He was fucking Bulk and he was Skull. You know, or if you want to get technical, I guess you could say Nedry was Bulk and Dodgson was Skull, because you never got to see him fucking do anything. Ludlow and his crew were, well, at least the asshole ones, were just kind of incompetent. There was the one Hispanic guy that, I think his name was Dieter, or whatever. The guy who got eaten by compies, he told him, "Hey, I'm off to take a piss," and the guy didn't even fucking hear him because he was listening to music. And the guy's screaming in the background, like, calling for help, and the guy didn't hear him. That's criminal levels of incompetence. And as has been pointed out, to its detriment, and I'll agree on this, Jurassic Park 3 didn't have a human antagonist. It had the Spinosaurus, just period. Which gave it a very different feel, which I never really noticed that, but now that it's been brought to my attention, I absolutely see it, and I'm like, yeah, that really does change things a lot. But, then you get to Jurassic World, and you got fucking Hoskins, I think was his name, the big chubby military guy, and yeah, that's... oh boy, he was a fucking cartoon villain. And, so yeah, here come the spoilers. This is where I start getting into details. Mills is the villain for this, and he is... oh boy, he's just dumb. He's a dumb bad guy. Because he is a smarmy dick, but he's a dumb smarmy dick. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've made it reasonably clear that I don't like Ian Malcolm. I think he's a smarmy douche. I kind of see Malcolm as a villain protagonist, if you ask me. Because he's always, from day one, been against the concept of Jurassic Park, and a dinosaur lover like me can't help but cast him in a villainous role just for that. Because it's not... here's the thing with Malcolm. Malcolm isn't the guy who says, "Hey, this could go horribly wrong, and here's how you fix it," and people ignore him. He says, "This will go horribly wrong. Nothing you do can fix it. There's no steps that can be taken, ever, 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 for any goddamn reason. This is all failing. I'm gonna laugh in your face and it fails. Ha 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 ha." And everyone's like, "Oh, well, Malcolm's right." No, he's fucking not, because here's the thing. Malcolm basically says that the system is doomed to fail. And that's really not the truth. Here's the thing with that whole doomed to fail thing. Without exception, every single time something goes horribly wrong in the Jurassic Park universe, it's because of people, not because of animals or nature. The one thing Malcolm got right was that the dinosaurs would breed on their own, left to their own devices, you know. That's pretty much the only thing he got right that didn't have shit to do with people. But I mean, let's look at Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park worked just fine until Nedry. Now you could argue the dinosaurs were breeding, but this isn't the book where they didn't have shit going, where shit was going the way they had. Alright, let me put it this way. The book, their control systems were completely different. And the breeding was a problem because the animals were actively escaping the island. And in the movie, that wasn't a thing. That whole plot didn't appear in the movie. So the fact that the dinosaurs were breeding was, at worst, a mild inconvenience. You know? It's just, oh no! You know those $50,000 a piece dinosaurs we have? We've got some freebies now! That's basically what that amounted to. But if not for Nedry, everything would have worked out just fine. Honestly. The tour would have gone on, it would have been fairly dull, but the T-Rex wouldn't have gotten loose and eaten everybody. They wouldn't have had to shut the power off and free the fucking raptors that caused untold amounts of chaos. And, yeah, and as for Jurassic Park 2, well, if InGen's, well, Ludlow specifically, hadn't been trying to exploit the dinosaurs financially and had just left them the fuck alone, that would have been fine. And yeah, part of the blame goes to Nick for royally fucking things up the way he did. But, if Ludlow hadn't decided to bring back a fucking T-Rex as well, that wouldn't have backfired horribly, and it wouldn't have rampaged through San Diego eating people and dogs. And for Jurassic World, if they hadn't... Jurassic World is the ultimate fuck you to Ian Malcolm, I believe. Because here's the thing. For, I think it was 14 years, Jurassic World worked. It fucking worked. And Malcolm wasn't in that movie because he'd have basically had to eat shit if he was. Because his whole premise is that this cannot ever work, period. And then Jurassic World's like, hey, this worked, period, for 14 fucking years. Until we decided to make the Indominus Rex for the military and got fucked in the butt for it, you know? And before you say, well, that happened, yeah, well, here's the thing. Disney World has had times where people died on rides. Most theme parks have, but that doesn't mean they're a failed theme park because one time something goes wrong. And yes, in this case, many people died because many things went catastrophically wrong because they were living attractions, you know. But, again, that was entirely human greed. And I'll give Malcolm the fact that human greed fucks things up, but everything else I don't see. Everyone's like, oh, Malcolm was right. No, Malcolm was fucking wrong. Because Malcolm judged that, oh, nature will fix this thing. Nature will fuck it up. Nature didn't do shit. Nature was very much, if you watch the Jurassic Park thing, nature was very much their bitch. I'm sorry, but that's pretty much the case. They had nature by the danglies. Whatever flavor of dangly nature has, you know. And, again, Jurassic World is the proof of that, because here was this fully functional theme park that Malcolm said could never exist, and it existed just fine for a fucking decade, with no problems. That was something that was covered, I don't know if it was said in the movie, but it was in the other source material. No problems. The Indominus was literally the first thing that went wrong in that fucking park. So fuck Malcolm. Now I wanna stress, I don't have a problem with Jeff Goldblum. I don't have a problem with Jeff Goldblum's acting. I think Jeff Goldblum makes Malcolm as good a character as he can be. I just think Malcolm was written shittily. Here's the thing. Malcolm in the book is fine because Malcolm in the book is right. He's a smarmy dick about it, to some extent. But he is very much right, because Malcolm says, the dinosaurs are going to escape the island, and they do. The dinosaurs are going to breed. John, you can't control this thing. Because in the movie, now later on it's somewhat retconned, but in the movie they basically, yes, they do cut some corners, but not nearly the level of corners that are cut in the fucking books. I mean, later on it comes out in other things, like in Jurassic World and whatnot, just how fucked things actually could or were, but when the movie was written, that wasn't really a thing, you know. when John Hammond says spared no expense, he basically means spared no expense. And yeah, like I said, the book Malcolm is a very different animal from the movie Malcolm. And I don't like movie Malcolm because he's the guy yelling, haha, I'm right, when he's really not, you know? Because the shit he says is going to happen doesn't fucking happen the way he says it's going to happen. The dinosaurs are breeding. Oh, you mean InGen gets some new free animals? They not have to spend tens of thousands, if not millions of dollars to make another T-Rex? Because the T-Rex made another T-Rex? Oh no. You know? And while, yes, that could present problems, it's not a fucking deal breaker. Yeah, like I said, but anyway, Mills decides well, okay, let's get into this. Before Mills, there is John Hammond's old partner. And Mills decides after Hammond dies that, you know what? Well, first off, the premise of the movie is that there's a volcanic eruption that's going to re-extinct the dinosaurs. And people brought up, well, they can clone more. They really can't. The DNA they have is fragmented as fuck, and whatever else they might have had is on Isla Nublar, where they can't get it. You know? And the dinosaurs, like, oh, what about Site B? Site B's gone. Basically, anything viable was moved from Site B to Jurassic World, so they didn't have to spend millions of dollars cloning more dinosaurs. And some of the non-viable shit, like the Spinosaurus, was just fucking killed off. I think the raptors were another case. So there are no Site B raptors anymore. Or Site B anything, really. And Mills decides that rather than let this old man have his way and make his new Jurassic sanctuary that he was planning to make, legitimately planning to make, and I was worried, because... Get down, Loey. I was worried, like, oh, they're going to make him a villain. No, he wasn't a villain. He was an unabashed good guy. He was a little naive, but he was definitely the good guy. And Mills decides, no, I can make so much more money selling these animals, and making, instead of the Indominus Rex, the Indoraptor. They broke into Isla Nublar, incorrectly assuming that the Mosasaur was dead, which started a whole fucking chain reaction of fuck-offs. But anyway, they took a rib from the Indominus, spliced it with some other shit, and created the Indoraptor. The Indoraptor is similar, but still very different from the Indominus, in that the Indoraptor is, yes, still very intelligent and still extremely sadistic, but the two things combine in a very fun way. The Indoraptor's a dick. Indominus was literally a psychopathic child that didn't know any better. The Indoraptor knows exactly what it's doing, and it's having fun with it. There's a scene where this asshole who's basically a hunter who likes to rip teeth out of tranquilized dinosaurs as trophies to make a necklace out of to make himself feel cool. The Indoraptor basically gets out, or pretends to get out, and he tranks it. He just puts 2 darts in it. And the Indoraptor goes down, but he's not tranked. And yes, the Indoraptor is the first confirmed male dinosaur in the Jurassic franchise. That was, well, no, not the first. Never mind, not the first confirmed, because there were a lot in Site B. The first bred dinosaur that was male and not just released. Let's do it that way. And, the Indoraptor goes down, but he's faking it. He's smart enough to know what tranking is, and that if he pretends to be tranked, the human will come in and check on him. And the human, of course, comes in like, oh, I know this guy just got sold, but I'm gonna steal a tooth. And the Indoraptor wiggles his tail up behind the guy. The guy turns around, and while he's turned away, the Indoraptor opens one eye and just smirks at the camera, and then closes his eye, and lets the guy move in again, wiggles his tail, and when he's turned around, rips the guy's fucking hand off. And some people are like, oh, it's cartoonish that he's smirking like that. I'm like, I love it. Because to me, that tells me the dinosaur knows exactly what he's doing, and he's loving it. And I'm loving it too, because That guy was an ass. This pumpkin will do me no good. I just realized this pumpkin will do me no good. Is this where I want to go? It is. Do I have a way down? A safe way down? Kind of? Maybe? Whee! Alright, hold on a moment. Alright, I am returned. I am all of the return now. Sorry, that was my aunt. She was supposed to call me back a while ago and forgot. Because, you know, you do that sometimes. It's not a crime. Hi, little bat. Those things are so cute. Oh, poor baby! I'd put you out if I could. But my bucket burned up with the rest of my shit. Alright, how many of these do I have? Is this it? No. Have I not been collecting iron ore at all? Or did that just not count, or what? I saw it fall. Yeah, that whole thing was complete bullshit. I can't really see. But that's easy enough to fix. Just gotta get some coal. Can't fucking see. Shit. Alright, let's not fuck around too much with lava, shall we? Alright, we're just gonna call it here for now. I'll see you next time, everyone. Bye-bye!